Hi, and welcome to the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network and Moonstruck TV and Lightning TV. You know, we're the number one psychic radio network on Earth. Now, if you haven't got the memo, check your email, okay? So, we're happy to be here today. It's hot here in Texas, to say the least. But we're glad to be here and to share our thoughts with you about psychic development and astrology and a few other things. So I'm John Cappello, and I am a psychic medium from the great state of Texas, and I've been doing this work about 30 years. And so I travel around the country, and I travel around, especially Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas. And last week I was in Fort Worth, Texas. I was at Billy Bob's, Texas. It's the largest honky tonk in the world, and it's a pretty neat place to be. And so I enjoyed my time there. This week I'll be going to Nature's Treasures in Midwest City. So if you happen to be in that area, please stop by. We're going to be doing a few things there. We're going to have a spirit gallery, and we'll have palmistry class, and we'll be doing aura photos and stuff like that too. So this is a big week for me, though. It's kind of a somber in a way, because we're going to be going to the old Alton Bridge. That's for my meetup group, Beyond Metaphysics, and we're going to that because of the for psychic development. Because to be around a place that's haunted is good for you to be in those areas. Now, usually a haunted place has some tragedy associated with it, and this place is no different. It's on the National Registry because it's such a famous bridge, and so it has a history to it of being kind of the hanging bridge. A lot of people have taken their lives there, but originally the original tragedy was something much worse, and it was well, I don't know if it's much worse than killing yourself, but this the story is that a gentleman was hung by some other people, and his body was never found, and and that's what started the whole legend of the bridge being haunted, and from there, you know, kind of history has taken its course for that. So I'm going to that bridge this Wednesday, actually, and it's going to be kind of it's a difficult energy to deal with. I've been there before, and I wouldn't go there unless it was something I felt I should do for the people in the meetup group, especially because these are people that want to develop their psychic skills. So we're going to do that. I'm not going to stay there that long. I'm not going to be there after dark. I'm just going to be there for a while, and I'm going to hightail it out of there. So if you're ever in the North Texas area and you hear about the old Alton Bridge or Goatman's Bridge, be sure to go and see it, because it's a worthwhile attraction. It was a bridge built in the 1800s, and it was built so that people could take their cattle and their wagons across a ravine where there was a creek under, Hickory Creek, and it was there long before there was a paved road. And so it's quite an interesting experience, and one that I think will sober you about the paranormal. So it's an interesting place. There's some other interesting places around here, and these kinds of places are everywhere. But this is the one that we have in this area, or this type of structure is what we have in this particular area. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things today. You know, I always talk about astrology, and last week I talked a little bit about the cycle of Jupiter. And the Jupiter cycle is a 12-year cycle. And if you kind of think back where you were 12 years, there might be some similar patterns, you know. And the older you get, you often come up against similar lessons that need to be learned. If you learned them well the first time around, the lessons the second time are not as drastic. and not as oh, life altering. If you didn't learn them well, then they can be life altering. They can be harder to overcome. It's just about letting a problem fester. And so I've talked a lot about Pluto, but today I'm going to talk about Neptune because Neptune has an interesting orbit as well, like Pluto does. Pluto. Pluto's orbit is like 248 years. Um, the orbit for Neptune is 165. And so if you look back in the orbit of Neptune and found out where it was 165 years ago, it was in the same place it is now, Pisces, and that's its home sign. And in a way, that's a good thing because whenever a sign is in its home sign, or a planet is in its home sign, it kind of flourishes. And so Neptune is the planet of imagination. It has a lot of positive things around it because it's a very psychic energy. It's a very kind energy, a gentle energy, but it's best known for its negatives. I have to be honest with you. It's best known for the karmic debts that people pay. It's known for drug addictions and incarceration and lots of things like that. And one of the things it's known for is racism, and that brings me to the old Alton Bridge, because the old Alton Bridge was where the KKK took a person's life, and it's not something that you're really proud of, but it's one of those, well, you never would be proud of that. It's pretty disgusting. But it's a historical place, and so that's why we're going to go there. But it happened in the 1880s, after Neptune had moved to the fourth house of the United States. But in 1858, if we were looking at similarities to that year, it wasn't an election year. It was right before. The 1860 election when Abraham Lincoln got on the scene, and so he was already starting to make big speeches, and one of his famous speeches was done in 1858, and that was the speech about a house divided can't stand. And so we're looking now at the presidential election. We're a year out from it, but it's interesting to see the candidates, see what they have to say, and what they're going to do with their, if they are elected president. So it's interesting that I hope you find it interesting to look at these different cycles of the astrological planets. And the reason why I hope it's interesting, because I hope you'll look at your chart, because looking at your chart, you can kind of see the progression of these planets through your chart and see how it's affected each house that it has resided in over a period of time. Now, the outer planets take a long time to go through each house. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the planet Neptune, because Neptune is in the same position in the United States chart as it was in 1858. And so there are some similarities that are going on, and we want to look at those similarities and see what we can learn from the past. That's the reason why we look at different cycles. So hopefully we'll get Michelle back and we can kind of connect on an intellectual basis. She says she's a Gemini, and there's a lot going on with Gemini right now, and especially with that Saturn aspect that's affecting all the mutable signs. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too much about astrological terms. I'm trying to educate everybody on them as we go along, but it's hard to do in a 30-minute program once a week. So maybe I have to offer an online course and have you join me for that online course. So hopefully we'll get Michelle back. If we don't, hopefully we'll get another caller, and maybe we'll just do a psychic reading for them. But I don't know. I'm not sure if Michelle couldn't understand what I was saying as far as talking, my articulating, or if it was the topic that she couldn't understand. So Georgia, we have Georgia calling from Dallas, Texas. So Georgia, are you there?
I am here, yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, fine. Georgia, is there anything going on in a relationship right now that you're kind of concerned about?
Um, it's kind of complicated, yeah.
It's complicated, okay. Because it seems to me like you've been kind of hanging on, going in and out of that relationship, and it looks like you're going to try to continue it, but I feel like there's going to be a time when you get tired of of it being complicated. Does that make any sense?
It does, yes.
Okay. Do you have a specific question for me?
I really don't know.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I feel like we're having this really hot weather today. It's a little bit cooler today for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but Georgia, it seems to me that you're a very matter of fact person. You're kind of a no nonsense person. Does that make sense?
I can be, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, it just seems to me that generally, like when you have your business hat on, you like to do things by the numbers, or you like everything by the facts. Is that right?
That's true. I'm a nurse. That's how we
You're
work.
a nurse, okay. So as a nurse, you like to follow the rules, and you like to follow whatever is necessary to take care of things. But it just seems to me, and in the area of relationships, you have a huge heart, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people walk on it. Is that right?
That's probably accurate, yes.
Okay, all right. So are you in a hospital, or you have a general practice, or what? Because I just feel like you might be in a hospital setting, and I don't know. Do you handle the infants, or are you in the maternity ward?
I am in a hospital, and I work with individuals that have developmental disabilities. So some of
Oh,
them are
oh,
kind of, yeah.
okay. I don't know why I'm just seeing innocence around you. I'm seeing people who have an innocence around them, and so that's very noble of you to help those that may be challenged in that area. So Georgia, what is your birth sign?
Aquarius.
You're Aquarius. Oh, you like me, huh? Okay. Well, with Aquarius, with this Pluto ending its cycle in Capricorn, it's going to be hitting us in the fixed signs very soon. And well, it's already hit us once, but it's going to come back around and be with us for the next 15, 20 years, it looks like. So it means that a major transformation is going to happen. And so where you're at now is just the ground floor of where you're going to be. You're going to start a gradual change, a gradual transformation. So it seems to me that this gradual change is going to take you from where you are to maybe working on a different floor, or maybe even preparing to retire by the end of this particular transit. So, it just seems to me that you're a very hard worker, and you work long hours. Is that right?
That's, yes.
Okay. All right. So, also, do you have a father in spirit?
No,
Okay. Are you close to your dad then?
no.
You're not, okay, because there's a male entity around you, and if this isn't dad, it might be granddad, but there's a male spirit around you, and I'm just trying to figure out who he is. So do you have a male in spirit that you were close to?
My grandfather's in spirit, yes.
Okay, well then I'm going to take him, because it just seems like he was kind of like a father figure to you. Is that right?
Yeah, we were really close.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to take it. So, Dad, your natural dad, unfortunately, was not as close to you as you would like him to be. But I do want you to know your grandfather's here, and he wants to be supportive of you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you very much for your call, and hopefully we'll meet someday. I'm in the Dallas area, so take care. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So we have a Michelle, another Michelle, and she's from Canada. So Michelle, are you
Hi.
there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Fine. How are you? Okay. Um,
I'm good.
so in a way, I got to pick up where I left off. Are there any issues going on with you and your dad, or is your dad in spirit?
No. No, not my dad. My
But a
husband.
man's, your husband's in spirit. Okay. Because it
Yes.
just seemed, I don't know, I just feel like you had a lot of respect for him. Did you?
Yes.
Okay, because
Yes, I did.
we hopefully we have a lot of respect for our dads too, but but it just seems like this is a man that you had a great deal of respect for, and he may have gotten ill and became very reclusive. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. That's
Okay, so it just seems like he wanted his privacy, and he got to the point to where he wasn't able to. Really, I don't know. We might not have been able to communicate, but were you there? Just seemed like you were always there for him and took care of his needs. Is
always.
that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So
It is. Yes.
I want you to know he's here, and he just sends his love to you, and wants you to know how much he wants to thank you. Now he's with a woman. He might be with his mother. Was he close to his mother?
His grandmother.
His grandmother? Okay.
He goes with his
Because he's
mom, but
with
his grandmother's in spirit. Yes.
Okay, because the woman is with him, and he just seems to be very happy with her being with him, and so they are they just seem to be growing together in spirit, and they're looking over everyone that was left behind. Now, has he been in spirit just fairly recently, a couple of years, or what?
It's been 3 years.
A year, just a year? Okay, because it doesn't feel
Three
like
years.
it's really
3 years.
been. Oh, 3 years. Okay.
It's been three.
Doesn't feel
Yeah.
like it's been that long, and so it feels like you still really miss him, and it
Very
feels
much.
like you had a very good relationship, because he's indicating to me that he felt a little cheated that he didn't have more time with you, and it feels like you feel the same way. So
Yes.
so Michelle, do you have any questions for him or anything?
I I just want to know if he's around us. If he's with me all the time.
He
You know.
is, and so is his grandmother's. They're there. They're kind of watching things. Now, do you have a dog in spirit as well?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay, because he's with the dog,
Yes.
and this dog is really happy to be here today. So
Okay.
I want you to know that they are with you. Now, do you have 2 or 3 children?
I have three.
Three
Yeah.
children, okay. Because he watches over them as well, and it just seems like the family has rallied around you since he's passed away, and that he's really happy and proud of all of you for sticking together the way that you have. Okay,
Is there anything that he shows me to look for? No, it's him.
to look for. Okay, do you by any chance like to
Fine.
sit and look out the window of your home?
Yeah.
Do what?
Yeah, I do a lot. I
Okay,
do a lot. Yes.
because he sits with you, and because it just seems like you like to have that quiet time
Mhm.
near the window looking outside. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hopefully that's some good validation for you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, all right.
I
Well,
appreciate
thank
that.
you. So
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
you're welcome. You too. So one of the things I wanted to tell you about today was that um, if you become a member of our meetup group, and I know that this is a worldwide audience on all over the earth, and you can't may not be able to join the meetup group, but we're going to be having some kind of out of the box participation points. And each time you go to a meetup, you get some points. And those points will add up and you get a thank you gift at the end of the year. And then the points start all over again. So this year we have a very special thing that we're going to be giving away at the end of the year if everybody meets the points. So we have this special cup. Okay, I don't know if you can see it too well. So this cup, it has it says thank you, on it, and so we're gonna see if I can show that to you. So if you put some coffee in it, and it just looks back at you and says thank you, So if you put some tea in it, it also says thank you. And then if you put some vodka in it, it says thank you. So so it's very nice. And someone across the way says hello and how are you, and you're looking good, and you can always hold up the cup and you can just say thank you. So it's a very, very special cup, and I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking it's pretty fancy. But that's just the way we do things here. And so it's a good reason to join the meetup group, Beyond Metaphysics. I hope that you'll do that if you're in the Dallas area, and that you'll come by and come and participate with some of our events that we have in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So it's fun. So I did have another topic that I wanted to discuss today, because I want to continue to talk a little bit about mediumship. And mediumship has so many different facets to it, and I hope to be completing a book on it sometime soon. I've been procrastinating on it. I pretty much have all the material, but I just need to put it together. And one of the areas that I discuss around people when it comes to mediumship is an entity called jinns. Okay, now a lot of people might not know what a jinn is, and might be like me talking Greek again to somebody. but jinns are very much a historical group of beings, and they have been recognized by the Muslim faith. And when you talk about angels, you have to talk about it from different traditions: the Jewish tradition, the Christian tradition, and the Muslim tradition, because all of those entities believe in angels, and they have just a little bit. They add their own mark to them. The only one, however, that talks about the jinn is the Muslim faith, and I feel like it's pretty significant, because if you don't know anything about jinns, then you can kind of you've had the experience of seeing genies in a bottle, and rubbing the bottle, and then having the genie come out and offering 3 wishes, and it always turns out bad, for the person that does the wishes, and that's kind of the way a jinn does things. A jinn may fool you. A jinn can be and even an individual who you might have highly trusted for many, many years, and then when you actually trusted them with maybe money or some other type of responsibility, and they suddenly saw an opportunity to take advantage of you, and you were shocked at first, and then you were very, very disappointed that they acted that way. So that's the way a jinn is. A jinn is kind of half man, half angel, and they're on the evil side. Okay, and so I hope you've never encountered any jinns. I know I have, and I've been disappointed with some people in my life. But I just say, man, they must have been jinns, because I thought I was pretty close to them, and suddenly they flipped on me, and they became someone completely different, and it was just shocking. And I think we've all met people like that, but I know I've met a few of them, and some of them come across me when I do readings, and I'm I'm always amazed at it. So I see some gyms that are trying to make their lives better and make amends for some of the silly things they've done, but a lot of them don't. And so I wanted to bring that up to you today about gyms. So we're getting ready to wrap up the program, so I want to be sure to say something good about Miracles of Joy. They're our sponsor for this month, and we're just delighted to have them be a part of our program. Use their promo code PS0223 on their online store and get a 25% discount, and be sure to buy a lot of stuff. So we're happy to be here on the Psychic Radio Network. We're here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And we want you to like our Facebook page. Go to John Cappello Psychic on Facebook and like our page. And we're going to be doing a lot more stuff the rest of the year. So I hope that you'll keep up with us and always be a part of us on Tuesdays here on the Psychic Radio Network. So long for now. Bye-bye.